So yep, another studio setup, but this one is much more better. My goal for 2024 is to shoot more and post more videos. But I've been having this problem when I had to set up my scene and then pack it up to have a spare space to move around. And I've solved it. I moved to another apartment, bigger apartment, where I don't have to move things around to have more space. Make sure to watch carefully because I'll explain the real purpose of these decorations, not only what you need but also why you need, so you can set up your own scenes. So this space solves a big deal. I just sit here, turn all the lights, turn the camera and just start shooting my videos. I've taken lots of inspiration from Ultralinks. I like his setup and I think it's the most beautiful I've ever seen. I like the camera angle he had, also the shelving unit, the MacBook here, the table. It all just looked beautiful. I've watched Oliver's old videos and I like this shelving unit he had, but I didn't find the exact one in Europe, so I found it in lutz.at. It's fairly cheap, it costed like 75 euros, and the quality of materials match the price. It's not the best materials, not the best metal, not the best wood, it's not even the wood, but it looks good on the camera and it's the only reason why I bought it. Behind this shelf I've got a Govee light that I bought recently, also stole that idea from Ultralinks. I really like having this light behind me because it gives interesting look. It's also an RGB light and I can set up any color I want. Also I can program different parts of this light to be different colors. Also this light is very thin and I can make it disappear by placing it behind the shelf. Viewer can't see the light stand itself, but can see the light, and I find it just brilliant. If you want to purchase the same light, the link is in the description, and if you buy this light through my link, you'll get a small discount. Moving on to the next background I have, it's the Godox TL30. It lights up my background so it doesn't look dark and boring, and I have a bit of separation from my background. It is also an RGB light, but I found this a bit more color accurate because it's a video light and the Govee one is just an interior light. You also can control all the colors and effects, and if you want to know more about this, I've made a separate video in shorts, so check it out. This Godox light is attached to a Manfrotto tripod and it's balanced by the IKEA toolbox. I didn't come up with anything better than this. If it works, it's not stupid. Good thing to do is to raise the light so it doesn't brighten up my legs, but my back. That's why it's standing on my nano case. I've made a video about it like a year ago, so take a look. The idea of having this light behind me so it gives it separation from the background and it's not too dark behind me, because this light doesn't brighten up the background. Next to the Godox light I have my plant, which fills the negative space, because without it, it would be too heavy to the shelf side. That's why I have it here and it looks a bit more balanced. Moving to my table. I like the idea of having a table, not because I have my laptop here or I'm using to show it something. It gives a bit of separation from the camera, it gives a place where I can rest my hands and lean on. On a psychological level, it's easier for people to be in front of camera when they have a table, they have something to lean on. It removes the constraint and embarrassment in front of the camera. It's just easier to speak for me. I have a table only for this reason and there is no beneficial purpose other than that. Moving on to my recording gear, here I have my GVM 80W light with a softbox and grid on it. It costed me 200 bucks, that includes the light itself, the softbox and stand. It has a variable color temperature and also you can use it wirelessly by using these NPF batteries. It lasts about an hour on maximum brightness. I think it's a good deal for a studio light, but you can find the cheaper ones on Amazon if you want. For the tripod I have my Manfrotto B3 tripod. I've placed it not directly in front of me but a bit to the side because it gives depth to your image and it doesn't look so boring. I've also adjusted the height and tilt so it doesn't look right in my eyes but a bit to the lower, to my chin. It gives a look of authority, a person who you will listen to, and if you try to replicate it you will get what I mean. I suggest you to buy a proper video head for this tripod because getting B-rolls is a bit tricky. The camera I'm using is the Sony a7C. It's fairly old camera, but you don't need a crazy expensive new camera because it stays still and the only thing I need from it is to be able to record videos. I also don't record in log because I don't want to color grade that heavily. I just do simple adjustment to the image and apply my favorite LUT. The lens I'm using is 24 to 70 GM Sony lens. I choose to shoot in 24mm because it's wide enough and it feels like speaking to a good friend. Anything tighter than 35mm feels a bit too dramatic. No need for that extra seriousness here. 24mm is the sweet spot for this type of shoots, not too wide and not too tight. For audio I'm using my old DJI mic with the lavalier microphone attached to it. Yes, manufacturers try to make them small and appealing, but it's still a big chunk of plastic hanging on your t-shirt. I don't like that and that's why I'm using lavalier mic with it, and when I feel a bit extra, I like to hide it under my clothing. I simply use a bit of tape and attach it to my chest so you don't see the mic. With a permanent setup like this, it's way easier to record videos. I don't need to think about setting all the light stands, the camera, the angle I had before. I'm very excited to have a permanent setup like this. Everything is on its place. I just simply come here, switch on the camera and record my videos. After you set up your own studio and shot your video, make sure to watch my latest video about editing tools that will elevate your image quality. And all the products I've mentioned here are listed in the description.